Hey, how you doing? All right, so I'm going on a walk. See, I'm walking through an open field so that I can have some privacy. But I wanted to show you. See, I'm going on a walk, and I wanted to get a candy bar. See, but instead I got some peanuts, some sweet and spicy peanuts, and some chocolate. See, so this video is about my diet. I call the Squirrel Girl diet. So the main idea with the Squirrel Girl diet is that I noticed that, first of all, I love squirrels. So part of being healthy is just your mental health, and some things cheer you up and keep you positive. And squirrels have quite a positive effect on me. They cheer me up. They make me feel happy to be alive. They're just so entertaining and cute, and they're so fantastic. The whole Squirrel Girl thing, if you know your Marvel comics, Squirrel Girl is a comic book hero in the Marvel universe. I collect Squirrel Girl comic books. I have a playlist on Squirrel Girl and Iron Man comic books. They're together because Squirrel Girl's first appearance was in an Iron Man comic. And I just think that Iron Man movies are the best ones. I wish there were Squirrel Girl movies. There are cartoons, but that's all in that playlist. But I noticed that because I like to watch videos about squirrels, I noticed that if you really do an in-depth study about what squirrels eat, it just so happens that squirrels are a really good example to humans about what to eat. They eat seeds and nuts and beans and green vegetables and berries and pardon me. They really do eat. So in this case, see, I wanted to get a candy bar. I really did. But instead I got some peanuts, flavored peanuts. Probably has too much sodium and all that, but you know, this isn't my meal. I'm just trying to snack on something because it's my day off and I'm going on a walk, you know, through a really slushy field right now, but that's why it's probably pretty bumpy. But then the chocolate's a different rule that I apply called the 3 C's, cannabis, coffee, and chocolate. If you can stick to the 3 C's are like the X, you know, it's the part of the lifestyle of the white robe diet is that you don't use drugs. Like when people get sick, I have a cold, I have a headache, I don't use any drugs. Right now I'm not smoking cannabis, but if I was smoking cannabis pretty much works for anything if you're sick, you know, just because being sick is such a mental condition, you know. Illnesses come from your mind, you know. And then there's all the spiritual sides with Rastafari and Yan Sway and everything with the cannabis. So that one's pretty deep. That's a whole subject. I have a whole playlist called Ganja on that one. And then coffee is just like you do kind of need a comfort food. Coffee and chocolate, if you get the kind of chocolate that's unsweetened and has stevia in it, if it says it's made out of like 100% cocoa and sweetened with stevia type thing, and you look at it and it doesn't have any carbs, because sometimes things that say unsweetened, they have either a chemical sweetener or they have a bunch of carbs, even though, you know, that's not good. That's not what you're looking for either. But you know, that's a better choice because that has a lot of, that's good for you. And I have a video on that chocolate's good for you, but this kind of chocolate has sugar in it. Again, both these aren't a very good example, but Steve, because it's chocolate, I can justify it, and because it's peanuts, I can justify it. That's part of the power of the Squirrel Girl diet. And Squirrel Girl is, of course, the toughest, believe it or not, she's actually the toughest in the Marvel universe. Look it up. She's like no small thing in the Marvel universe, you know, and so the Squirrel Girl diet. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in my pocket and switch arms because this arm's getting tired. Okay. There we go. Okay, so in the morning, BMD breakfast. So I've changed it. I already have one video on here that goes over it and it shows the chart and you make a chart and all that. But I've slightly adapted it. So it's more like an expansion, you know, and you can kind of like, because everything about the Ensway and the diet's a really big part of it. The lifestyle is things are adaptable and you can personalize things. Okay, so if in your imagination a squirrel might do it, then would a squirrel eat chocolate? No. That's why there's a separate rule, the 3 C's. Anyway, so in the morning, squirrels do eat eggs. BMD breakfast. BMD breakfast, of course, stands for best meal of the day. So you have 3 eggs and a grapefruit or any kind of citrus. See, so one of the tricks is citrus and berries have a lower glycemic index. It has a lower quantity of carbos in that. So the whole carbo thing, okay, let me finish. BMD breakfast, coffee, citrus, and 3 eggs. 1 citrus, 1 cup of coffee, 3 eggs, and then of course your multivitamin and blah blah blah. And before that, before you have your breakfast, like right when you first make your breakfast, you make your electrolyte drink because you're supposed to drink that on an empty stomach. So by the time you actually eat your meal, it's already absorbed. That's your BMD breakfast, your multivitamin, the electrolyte drink, and the eggs, citrus, and that. Okay, and that's pretty consistent with everything except the blue robe diet, which is the keto diet, where for breakfast you have a keto coffee. And you can look that diet up. But anyway, so then for your second meal, which might be your break at work, or it might just be in between breakfast and lunch, you have pecans and either blackberries or dates. I usually eat dates. Pecans and dates go together real good. It tastes like a pecan pie. You know, and just like 1 serving, just look on the back, have whatever it says 1 serving of pecans are, and then have 1 serving of dates, you know. And then for lunch, this is where it's kind of different. I make a spinach salad, you know, and I pack it and bring it to work with me. It has a really hefty hand. It has its spinach, of course, and a small handful of shredded cheddar cheese. The same shredded cheddar cheese I put on my eggs with the BMD breakfast, by the way. And I put Tabasco on the eggs. And cheese and Tabasco have salt, so I don't even salt the eggs, which takes a little getting used to. But anyway, so I put some of that shredded cheese on it. Not very much, and then a hefty handful of walnuts on it, and then I put some diced red onions, some sliced baby carrots, and some sliced cucumbers, and some sliced and diced avocado. And you might throw in a few if you want. Sweet grape tomatoes, but I usually don't, just because it saves money not to, because that's really pretty much enough. And then I bring some oil and vinegar. I just buy some red vinegar, and then everything I cook, the BMD breakfast, everything I cook with olive oil, a first cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. You're supposed to cook with olive oil, and then when it's not cooked, extra virgin. I just always use the extra virgin first cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, because I just think that just doesn't make that big of a difference, and it has more nutrients. And so I'll get the red wine vinegar. I'll pop off the lid, and I'll pour some of it, like half of it, out in 1 container. And then I'll put some olive oil in it, so there's mostly red wine vinegar, and then a little bit of salt. And then I put the lid back on it, shake it up, and then I bring that with my lunch. When I get to work, when I put my lunch in the fridge, don't put your oil and vinegar thing in the fridge, because when it's time to eat your lunch, the oil will be all whatever the word is, it'll be all hard on top, and then you'll only have red wine. You'll ruin it. So you set it off to the side in your locker, and then just bring it out, and then take your salad out of the fridge at lunch. And then I also bring one jumbo slice of Tillamook extra white cheddar, or just Tillamook extra sharp, Tillamook extra white sharp cheddar, or just Tillamook extra sharp cheddar. That's another one I do. That's a squirrel will eat cheese, but it's not real natural. But once they have a taste for it, they like it. You know, so it's kind of like cheese is arguably one of the not real good things you eat, but yet at the same time, it's a good source of protein and everything. And then I'll bring 2 pieces of 100% whole wheat bread. It has to be 100% whole wheat bread. And I have a video on that of the better choices. And then, so the bread has the carbos of the meal, and it also has some protein. The walnuts has protein and fat. The cheese has protein and fat. See? So people will look at you like you're sure not eating very much food, but it's plenty food. You're fine because you brought us a nice snack. You know, you'll notice your body gets used to it, and you end up feeling fed. So the cheese, I put it in an extra container because if I want, I'll save the cheese and just eat it while I'm waiting at the bus stop to go home, because it takes me like an hour to go home. But I usually don't. I usually just eat it with my lunch. So then when you get home, right when you get home from work, I make my second, and you only have 2 electrolyte drinks a day. You have your second electrolyte drink, and I have a video on how to make that. And then on my workout, you'll look at the Squirrel Girl workout. It says the 2 T's on it. The Squirrel Girl workout is called the 2 T's because you do it on Tuesday and Thursday each week. The 2 T's of the week. So if you come home from work and it's Tuesday or Thursday, then you have your kale shake, your electrolyte drink first, and then your kale shake, and drink it. Then just like sit down for 5-10 minutes, let it kind of absorb, and then you do the workout. And then after the workout, the post-workout meal is just your dinner. Okay, and then if it's not Tuesday or Thursday, then when you come home, you have your electrolyte drink and your dinner. And the dinner is different every week. I mean, every day. You know, the dinner is the thing that can be different, but generally, what I make, like, so what you can do is you can go to the Green Robe diet. The Green Robe diet is where I have all my recipes, and just eat anything, any of the recipes off the Green Robe diet. No matter what it is, just any of those. But part of the Squirrel Girl diet is that most of the time you have you make beans, like lentils or beans, and there's beans. I have bean recipes. You have either one of the bean soup or bean recipes, you know, that's vegetarian, with a piece of bread and a glass of V8. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, since that's the day you work out, and every once in a while that's not Tuesday and Thursday, you make turkey chili. So you might get the tube of ground turkey and get the kind with less fat in it, and that's cheaper. But if you can afford it, get the high quality ground turkey. It'll make it taste even better. It makes a difference. It's a little bit healthier and higher quality. So try to do that. And what I do is I get paid every 2 weeks. So I go shopping and I get 2 weeks worth of everything. Two weeks worth of pecans and walnuts and dates and eggs and citrus and everything. So what I do is also I cook a big batch of the beans, whatever I'm gonna eat, and a big batch of turkey chili. And it lasts the 2 weeks, you know. It's like one of those containers of the ground turkey, and then a bunch of kidney beans or pink beans or small red beans, and then like a a giant can of stewed tomatoes, and then some ground, or some powdered garlic, some salt and pepper, and some cayenne pepper, and some Tabasco. You know, it just takes practice, you know, making it taste just how you like it. But you make your turkey chili, and you make your vegetarian beans, however you're going to do those things. And I have a bunch of recipes in the green robe diet for things you might do to make that different, or just every once in a while do something else. One of the other recipes in the green robe diet, the dinner is the one that where the variety comes in. You pretty much eat the same thing for all the other meals. So then the last one is right before you go to bed. Your before you go to bed meal, you just have a cup of Twinings, and a cup of Earl Grey. So for me, drinking caffeine before bed doesn't ruin my sleep. I have no problem. I'm the opposite of an insomniac. So if it's ruining your sleep, then pick a different tea, because what the tea is, before dinner is really about is that it has honey. Having tea sweetened with just a tiny squirt of stevia and some honey is really good for your liver while you sleep. And then if it's not Tuesday and Thursday, I have a kale shake. And so I have a recipe for the kale shake. So the kale shake and a cup of tea before dinner, and then I have a 1 a day complex amino acid tablet with that. And throughout the day, I'm also taking a garlic tablet, follow the directions, a calcium magnesium tablet, follow the directions, and a vitamin D3 tablet, follow the directions. So that's pretty much it, you know. So part of the Squirrel Girl diet is you buy peanuts too. So you buy a bunch of walnuts for your salad and a bunch of pecans for one of your regular meals, but then buy a bunch of unsalted peanuts too, and fill in all your, or buy a bag of shelled peanuts too, or just any other nuts, you know. Part of it is that you fill in all gaps with nuts and all snacks. Like right now I'm going on a walk, and I wanted to buy a candy bar, but instead I bought peanuts. See, that's what a squirrel would do. And so that's the Squirrel Girl diet. And don't forget to sweeten your tea and coffee. Also, tea and coffee, you know, especially remember the 3 C's. If you fill in all gaps, not just with seeds and nuts, but when you want, you know, when it's time to eat a fruit, go for citrus and berries, because it has lower glycemic index, and use stevia to sweeten things with. There's erythritol, there's other natural monk fruit, you know. I guess it doesn't really matter in a way. The thing is with carbos is that the people that sell, like when you look up things online and the experts, you know, notice that experts on nutrition, again, that's one of my areas of expertise. I've studied hundreds of diets and been on countless diets and have a tremendous amount of experience with dieting and exercise since I was 12 years old. I have quite a resume. And anyway, so the thing with that, the people that we think are experts, they're also trying to make money doing it, you know. And so the secret with designing recipe diets for people that make money is, what they're not telling you is the word ratio, you know. It's the ratio. The ratio communicates the message. It's if your ratio of carbos is the highest compared to your fat and protein, you're telling your body all the wrong things, you know. And if you do that, that you want to have high fat, low muscle, low energy, all the bad things you wouldn't want, you know. And like right now, there's this one really good, and I've learned a lot from him. He's smart. He says, carbos are not the answer. Look at my body, and I eat donuts and pizza and all that. So do I. Look at me. I'm skinny as can be too. And I eat like I'm having chocolate right now with sugar in it. And I eat whatever I want. It's because the way the human body works is that it's like you're telling your body a message by how you feed it. And it's not just like one, like people that say things like, oh, I ate that candy bar, by the end of the day I gained 10 pounds. That's a person that doesn't know how the human body works. They're all, you don't know how my human body. No, it's not. It's just not how it works. The reason, I mean, it might be true, but the reason that happens is because of their body. Your body thinks it's doing you a favor when it does that. Your body, they've told their body that they want it to gain fat. And so when they eat that candy bar, they are gaining weight like they think, or maybe it's in their imagination, but they would gain weight from such behaviors because their body thinks that that's what they want, because that's the message they've told their body over years and years of time. So if you eat right and exercise and treat your body the right way, then you've told your body that you don't want it to be fat and that you want it to have lean muscle and be healthy. And so then you can afford to eat things like that. I'm crossing a road. You can afford to eat things like that because when your body sees that sugar and those carbos, it does, it sees it the way you would want it to see it because you've told it to see it that way, And to change that message takes a lot of time, especially if you've really ingrained that message that you want to be fat and to gain weight for things like that. So that's what the Blue Robe diet's about. You can check out the Blue Robe diet. It's the keto diet, and go on the keto diet. The keto diet saved my life. I was dying of cirrhosis, and it brought my liver to normal liver function. I had diabetes at one time. I have a history of alcoholism. Gosh dang it. Obviously I can't drink now because I have cirrhosis. I'll be dead. That's quite a motivator, but I also had diabetes for a while. And I fixed that. I don't have diabetes anymore. And I did both those things with the keto diet. So, what you would have to do to change your message to your body if you have those kind of problems is you'd have to go on the keto diet. And I explain what that is on the Blue Robe diet, how that works and everything. Until you've changed your message to your body. The keto diet's not something that you can do for the rest of your life. The idea would be to go on that until you've communicated a totally new message to your body. You've lost a bunch of weight, and your body thinks you want something different than it did before, and your whole relationship to food and everything's changed, and it's ingrained for a long time. Then gradually work your way to the White Robe diet, to this diet, and then as long as you've told your body the right diet, then this should work, and then you can do things like eat a chocolate bar and some peanuts with too much salt and probably who knows what else in it. Does it have sugar in it? I wouldn't be surprised, And you can, if I was at a pizza party, I'd have a piece of pizza, Then you can do things like that. But part of the secret is stevia, because you'll go crazy. Like for soda, buy some Perrier. And you put your glass full of Perrier, you put in some lemon juice and a squirt of stevia, and then it'll take a little getting used to, but that's just as good as soda, really, and it has like 0 carbs. It's pretty impressive. So like with one stevia is not like the other. Like the powdered kind of stevia can have maltodextrin in it, which is completely it's just how crazy this world is. Why would you use stevia? And it's mostly made out of maltodextrin, and then put it with the enemy like that, That's crazy. So you have to look at the ingredients and pick one of the stevias that's just stevia and water or something, like that in it. That's what I like. You get used to it. You get used to how much to add, and you get used to the taste. Even when it kind of is slightly bitter, sometimes I like it just because I'm very, very used to stevia. So that's a really big thing. The 3 C's, stevia, and eat like a squirrel, and start your day with a BMD breakfast. This is it, And read Squirrel Girl comic books, like change. If maybe for the implication with the White Robe diet, it's always with the Squirrel Girl thing is that it's implied that you could pick a different hero, But I don't know. I don't know if you can find something better than a squirrel, but maybe you could say it's like the Green Lantern and make believe that the Green Lantern has a pet squirrel and really likes to eat like his pet squirrel or something. I don't know. You're just, anything can be personalized. That's the whole point with the Kabbalah.